Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into some really powerful ideas from the book Mature Learning. We're going to talk about how you can find what the author calls your inner fire.
So let's just start with this question, because it really hits home, doesn't it? You know that feeling, right? You check all the boxes, you do everything you're supposed to, your life looks great on paper, but inside, there's this nagging emptiness. The book has a great term for this, incomplete combustion. And that's really the core problem we're going to tackle today.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by figuring out why we even have this fulfillment gap. Then, we'll look at a really cool framework for what we truly need as humans. After that, we'll get to the good stuff, how to light that inner fire. And finally, we'll lay out a practical path to finding your ultimate goal.
So let's talk about this fulfillment gap. I mean, think about it. From the time we're kids, we're basically taught to chase a very specific idea of success, right? But the author makes a really crucial point. There's a huge difference between what looks good on the outside and what actually feels good on the inside. And getting those two mixed up, well, that's exactly where this whole fulfillment gap comes from.
Okay, so the book breaks this down using some ideas from classical philosophy, but it's super simple when you see it laid out. On one side, you've got apparent good. Think pleasure, fame, wealth, all the shiny objects. The thing is, they're all external. They can disappear in a flash. But then you have good in itself. This is stuff like truth, justice, self-control. These are internal. They're part of who you are, and no one can ever take them away from you. And here's the trap, right? When we only chase that apparent good, we basically become slaves to it. It's like a drug. Pleasure needs a bigger and bigger hit to feel good. Fame? That's completely in the hands of other people. You end up on this endless hamster wheel, just running and running, but never actually getting anywhere close to real, lasting happiness.
So if the fancy car in the corner office aren't the real answer, then what is? Well, this is where things get really interesting. The author brings in a super powerful framework, actually borrowed from Stephen Covey's classic book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it helps us see exactly what it takes to feel whole.
It boils down to this. We all have 4 core human needs. The book uses a great analogy. Think of them like the 4 tires on your car. You've got your physical needs, your body, your health, having enough money. Then there's the social-emotional part, your relationships, feeling like you belong. Number 3 is mental, that deep-seated need to learn and grow. And finally, the spiritual need, having a purpose or reason to get up in the morning, a feeling that you're contributing something. And this, right here, is the light bulb moment. This is where it all connects. See, you can be totally fine in the first 2 areas. You're healthy, you've got money, you've got great friends and family. But if you neglect the mental and the spiritual needs, that's when you get that incomplete combustion. That's it. That is the fulfillment gap we were talking about.
Okay, so what happens when we stop ignoring those other 2 tires? What happens when we actually start paying attention to all 4 needs at the same time? Well, according to the book, something incredible happens. It's not just a small improvement, it's like a full-blown chemical reaction.
When you get all 4 of those needs met, and they hit a kind of critical mass, boom, they ignite what the author calls your inner fire. And we're not just talking about feeling a little happier. This is a self-sustaining passion that changes everything. It literally reorients your entire life. Suddenly you've got vision, you've got this incredible enthusiasm, this sense of adventure.
And once that fire's lit, there's this profound, fundamental shift in your perspective. Think about it. Before, your focus was probably on satisfying your own needs. What can I get? But after that fire's lit, your focus flips. You start looking at all your resources, your health, your time, your skills, and you think, how can I give? How can I serve a purpose bigger than myself? The goal totally changes from getting to giving.
All right, this sounds amazing, right? But how? How do we actually do this? How do we light that fire? Is there a practical method? Yes, there is. The author gives us a very specific path, and he calls it mature learning.
Now, this is not the kind of learning you did in school or for a job certification. Mature learning is different. It has 3 key ingredients. First, you have to do it just for the pure love of it, not for a paycheck or a promotion. Second, it's got to be hard. It has to require real, genuine effort. Why? Because easy stuff doesn't build character or unique skills. And third, the whole point of it has to be either for your own self-growth or to contribute something valuable to society. And the author really walks the walk on this. He shares his own incredible story. He spent an entire decade with basically no income from his main job. Instead, he just dove headfirst into studying everything he was passionate about: philosophy, engineering, you name it. Now, from the outside, most people would look at that and call it 10 lost years. But he calls it his most glorious decade. Why? Because that was the time he found himself. That was his journey of mature learning.
So where does this whole path lead? What's the ultimate destination? Well, it leads to a concept that the ancient Greeks talked about all the time. They considered it the absolute highest good a human could achieve, a state that goes way beyond just feeling happy.
That state is called eudaimonia. Now, you might see it translated as happiness, but that translation honestly doesn't do it justice. It's so much deeper. Eudaimonia is about flourishing. It's about living a life where you've pushed yourself to develop your unique potential to its absolute peak, and then you share that gift with the world. It's that perfect blend of being your best self and helping others. And the book gives us a super practical roadmap to get there, broken down into 4 stages. Step 1, get your foundation solid. Secure a stable income so you're not always in survival mode. Step 2, build up your resilience. Life is going to throw punches, so you need to be able to take them and get back up. Step 3, this is the big one, dive into that effortful, mature learning to really master a unique skill. And then, finally, step 4, contribute. Take that skill you've worked so hard on and use it to help society. And that last step, contribution, is absolutely non-negotiable. I mean, think about it. What good is a brilliant chef who never actually cooks a meal for anyone? Or an amazing musician who never plays for an audience? It's just not possible to truly flourish if you keep your gifts locked away. They're meant to be shared. So we're left with this really powerful question, a question for you. It's not just about asking, what do I enjoy? The real question is, what am I willing to struggle for? What challenging, effortful passion are you going to pursue, not for the money, not for the fame, but for the sake of your own growth, for the sake of contributing something meaningful, and for the chance to finally ignite that inner fire?